So I leave the Scranton Wilkes-Barre area for Philadelphia
Sure.
in August of '99. When did you start breaking, like trying to make a living and helping other, whether it was being in a band or a drum tech? Like, where does that start with you? And
I joined the band Bigwig from New Jersey in 1996. And I remember I was playing in a band called The Finks, very short-lived band, like 6 months. And we were playing at Spanky's in Stroudsburg. And the singer of Bigwig came to see me play. And he's like, hey, he's like, we're looking for a drummer. He's like, you want to go on tour? I go, yeah. He goes, okay. And I'm like, you don't even know if I'm a good drummer. He's like, well, I'm here to see you. I heard good things about you. So I played, get off stage. He's like, here's my number. Give me a call. And with that, I joined the band Bigwig. And that was 1996. And we toured constantly. Lauren, in my 7 years of being in Bigwig, did over 625 shows.
wow.
In 7 years. We played constantly.
I remember, and for a while you were on the Warped Tour, because I remember getting on your tour bus a couple of times. Like if it'd be like Philadelphia and Asbury Park, I'd come down, and the rest of the band would be all crashed out. Of course, you're one of the first ones up and running around and stuff. But
absolutely, yeah. But it was, like Bigwig. I recorded 2 records with them, and without getting into it, like the singer and I, we had our differences, and I should have known it. Like I didn't get paid for the first 5 years of playing in Bigwig.
Wow.
I received no money. And I should have known that, because when we played Warped Tour in 1997 in front of like 4,000, we played Warped Tour in 1997 in front of like 4,000 or 5,000 people. We went up against Dropkick Murphys, and we still had like 4,000 people watch us. Roger from Less Than Jake threw his bass down on the main stage and ran over and was circle pitting in our pit for us. I love that guy. You know what I mean? Yeah, and we got paid 15 grand that night. I didn't see a dime of it. 15 grand one show.
So I'm just kind of curious, what are you living on the tour though? If you're not getting paid, is it just like an everyday allowance of like what?
We starved. We starved. When I recorded my first record with Bigwig, we bought a loaf of bread, and we'd go take ketchup, and we put ketchup on bread, and that's what we ate. I shit you not. I'm not trying to sound like starving musician. Yeah. I fucking starved, and we did. I have a picture of our bass player, John Costello, eating a can of soup out of the can, just like the lid's like this, and he's eating it. Dude, we seriously, because we recorded in Hollywood. You know what I mean? Like right on Hollywood Boulevard. I was walking every day for like 48 days. And long story short, we were supposed to play a bunch of shows to get money. And our singer, Tom, we played the Whiskey a Go-Go, LA. And he jumped up in the air, and he landed, and he ripped his ACL on stage.
Ouch.
So I fucking hate the guy, but he did finish the set singing, and then they took him to the ER. And we had to finish our first record that I did with Bigwig while he was on crutches. I had some health issues pop up. I don't want to talk about it on the air, but you know what I mean. Gotcha. But I got fucked up, and I don't even want to go into it. It turned into a nightmare. We weren't making money. Tom was stealing all the money. I can say it now because it's 50 million years later, and everybody knows. And I'll tell you, Lauren, and everybody said, all my friends, my family, they're like, Matt, if you're not getting paid, why are you doing it? And I said, you know why? Because I love the music. Okay? I will sacrifice my life for this. I love the music. I really enjoyed the music. I had fun playing with the band. And you know what, Lauren? I could always go home. And you know me, I've been painting houses since like 1993. And guess what I was doing today? Painting houses. So I either took the sacrifice by staying in a band, and after 5 years, I started making some money. You know what I mean? Which was cool. You know what I mean? And when I started making money, Tom wasn't into it, and I signed a bullshit contract. I got kicked out of the band, and Tom took my my money.
Gotcha.
Without even, that's a whole other conversation. Fuck that guy. But anyway.
Gotcha. So as far as not to keep you the Tom thing going, but when you said like all you guys you're on tour and how are you getting town to town though? Like I know it's the 90s and gas is still $1, but like how are the 5 of you or 4 of you living? Like
merchandise, selling merch.
Okay.
Merch. I mean, we had a lot. We had stickers, we had all types of shirts, all types of hoodies, all types of beanies, trucker caps, stickers. We had bottle openers. Are you ready? Oh, if I have it right here. We had night lights. Yep, we had night lights. We were gonna get condoms that said "Now you're fucking with Bigwig," but it never happened. Merchandise, patches. Remember in the 90s, everybody had patches.
Yeah.
Patches. Merchandise. Like if our guarantee was like $100 or whatever, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? If we sold $250-300 a night in merch, that would get us. And we didn't stay at hotels those days. We were staying at like the mobile. You know what I mean? We were pulling into the mobile station and sleeping in a van, or we camped out actually a lot of times, like state parks and shit like that.
Got you. But I mean, as far as one last hit with the whole thing with Tom, but like
you're fine.
Basically, if Tom was getting the money, would you say the label you were under was honest and was like paying Tom and thought that Tom was going to spread the money out, or was this another label nightmare where you weren't getting really paid too much at all?
I have full faith in Fearless Records and Kung Fu Records. Absolutely. No, they didn't know that we weren't getting paid. And it's like, it came to fruition, like I said, about 5 years, people started to pick up on it. And the band, and I know for a fact, I could say this now because I don't really tour with bands anymore anyway. I mean, well, I'm with the starting line and everything like that, but like bigger band, like Rise Against, like got huge. Like we knew Rise Against, and they knew that Tom was an asshole. And I, in my personal opinion, we did not go on tour with certain bands because Tom was known for being a dick, not paying his band members, and being very difficult to work with. I'm almost positive we didn't go on tour. We did a bunch of shows with Les and Jake. God, I love those guys. You know what I mean? But I know to go on a full tour with them because Tom's an asshole. Pennywise, Tom's an asshole. No Effects, Tom's an asshole. Rise Against, Tom's an asshole. They know. They all those bands, because we play that genre. For people that don't know, we were like more lumped in with that genre of punk rock. You know what I mean?
The Warped Tour staples is everyone you just named besides Bad Religion, like they're probably the number one. But yeah.
But like we never we did shows with Pennywise, obviously a lot with Les and Jake. You know what I mean? A few with Rise Against, but I honestly think Tom ruined his own band by just not being a cool dude. You know what I mean? By taking care of his members. You know what I mean? And he ruined it. And I will, for the rest of my life, know the fact that he did. You know what I mean? But like I said, I could have quit anytime, but I'd come home. What was I doing? At least I was on the road touring around the country, seeing things.
You can't take away regardless of how hard it was with him and just being even if you wasn't that band, another band, it's hard to be in a band, but you got to see things, dude. And you got, you just said 600 shows of memories that people only wish they could have, man.
And you know what? Oh, sorry.
No, I was going to say, look what it led to. I mean, you're still going. I mean, you fill in for when Luke can't play the shows in Wisdom and Chains, you're normally the guy that fills in. So
there's a reason that band still exists, because they're all awesome dudes. Such great dudes. And they take care of each other. But in 96, I started touring with Bigwig. So 1997, I've been keeping a journal every day of my life since 1997. Here's my journal for 2022. Okay? That's me.
I love it, dude.
I have these since 1997 every day.
Let me back up one more time. Just
please.
When you said the Bigwig contract, I just kind of like, could you fill us in on exactly like what you signed and any
absolutely
and any? I'm not trying to keep pointing the bear at a Bigwig.
No.
anybody that's in a band, could you give them any advice about these contracts, about like the proper way to do it? So could you explain what you did and basically what not to do there?
Okay, so it was in my 7th year of playing in Bigwig, and I knew Tom didn't like me, and I know I didn't like Tom, and it had been for like 2 years. You know what I mean? And I stuck with it for 2 years, and he came up with this thing, and his uncle, who's a lawyer, had to sign a contract. Okay, and I'm signing the contract, and I'm like, and it was my exact words. I'm like, I sign this contract, I lose all royalties, I lose all rights to being even in Bigwig. I'm like, what's to say I'm not going to get fired? And Tom's exact words were, not to sound, I can't remember the exact words. He goes, how did he say it? He goes, well, let's face it, we need a drummer. So I signed the contract, bullshit contract, and I got fired, and I was getting 28% of whatever the band made at that point. Lauren, I can't remember numerically what the number was. But Tom's idea was, okay, fire Matt, who's getting 28%. Tom gets 8% more, and we're going to hire the new drummer on for 20%, or maybe even 15. I don't even know what he hired him on. Yep. Knowing Tom, he probably is like, you're going to get 10%. So Tom,
could I just freeze? Well, could you say, did you talk to any lawyer, or is this a bad Matt move for a second, like with the contract of
bad maybe Matt move?
Okay,
bad Matt move. I did, yeah. And my check for being fired from Bigwig was $300. That's what I got.
That was like your severance pay. That was like your severance pay. Wow,
$300. And you want to know what? I never cashed it, so I'm actually still in the band. Well, I did go talk. Let's face it, I'm a drum teacher, I'm a painter, I'm not a fucking lawyer. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know any of that shit. Like, I put all my faith in Fearless Records. They're cool. Kung Fu Records, Joe Escalante from Kung Fu. I love the guy. I mean, Bob from Fearless, amazing guy. It's a business, and I get it. They weren't fucking me over. Tom was fucking me over. They had no idea. And they had no idea for years. Like, what do you mean you're not getting paid? You don't make any money? You made $5,000 playing that show in California last night. You didn't get anything? Yeah. I got fucked, man. I really did get fucked. You know what I mean? From Tom fucking Pedda. You know what I mean?
So I would say to the audience what Matt just told you, and for myself, who everybody knows, I'm more of the film guy and stuff now, but I just always say, like, don't sign anything without a lawyer checking it out, and actually after that, try to find a second opinion if you need another lawyer, like, because it's always those last few pages with all this English language where it's like, I don't understand what you're saying here. It's English, but it's basically saying, we're screwing you over if you sign this paper. That's all it's really saying.
And that's what it was. Right. And I was terrified not to sign it. And Tom was like making me sign it because he knew if I signed it, like I said, he could fire me. And I got fired. I don't know if I told you, I got fired 2, maybe 3 months later. And it's funny, I got fired, and like 2 days later, they played a show with another drummer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was a setup. Let's have Matt sign this. My uncle's a lawyer. Let's have Matt sign this fucking contract. He loses all his royalties, his rights, blah blah blah. All this shit. I didn't get royalties anyway, so whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? That was a whole other situation. You know what I mean? I signed a bullshit contract. I got fired.